That brings us to the last session of our day, one of the last session for this conference, and an expert talk on the art of new management is up next. Our guest for this talk is Shiv Shivakumar, Group Executive President, Corporate Strategy and Business Development, Aditya Birla Group. Shiv needs no introduction. He has worked in marquee companies like Hindustan Lever, Nokia, PepsiCo, and is now Group Executive President for Strategy and Business Development at the Indian conglomerate, the Aditya Birla Group. He writes regularly for the business press, teaches regularly at premier business schools, and is a favored speaker for corporate events. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to have him here with us this evening. Over to you, Shiv.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure to do this for NASSCOM. My name is Shiv, and I've worked across many categories, technology, consumer products, etc., over the course of my career. I have recently published my third book, which is called The Art of Management. This is the book. You can buy it on Amazon, or you can buy it in any leading bookstore across the country. In this book, I get 21 leaders to talk about three fundamental aspects, which are managing yourself, managing your team, and managing your business. The book has a foreword by Sachin Tendulkar, and I chose these 21 leaders, including Sachin, because I knew that they would tell it as it is. They would be candid. They would call out both the positives and the negatives of how to manage each of the disciplines that I've talked about. I think in this whole point of having a good life, a good career in any profession that you choose, I think the absolute foundation is managing yourself. And many people underestimate how to manage themselves. When you talk of managing yourself, it's about number one, managing your time. Number two, it's about managing your ambition. Number three, it's about managing your learning. Number four, it's about managing your energy. And number five, it's about managing your relationship with the organization that you represent. So it's managing time, managing ambition, managing learning, managing energy, and managing the relationship with the organization. Now, let me cover each of these in some detail. So when you talk of time, a lot of people think that time management is about coming to office at 9:30 or leaving at 5:30. No, that is not about managing time. Time requires absolute discipline. If you commit to somebody that you will do something, then you do not need a reminder. In my career, I've never got anybody to remind me. There might be a stray case here or there. So the key to managing time is to maintain a diary so that you're not double booked, you know what your commitments are, and you deliver on that absolutely. The key to management of time is to ensure that you prioritize when you have two or three things at your table or on your desk, in the morning or afternoon or evening. You have to decide what is priority and really go with that. So the ability to prioritize is absolutely important. Okay. The other thing about managing time is that you have to know how to manage dead time. So you're sitting in an airplane, you're sitting in an airport, you're sitting in the back of a car. What do you do at that point of time? There's so much time every day that you have. In almost every city today, I think the commute to work and back is close to an hour. If you're working from home, it's easier. But whatever the day, there is a lot of dead time available to you. How do you use that dead time and ensure that you get the most out of it? The next thing about time management is not to waste time. Typical wasting time would be gossip at the water cooler or walking around the office aimlessly and things like that. So do not waste time, because once you lose time, you lose a lot. And finally, the thing about time management is being responsive. A lot of people in today's world, we have so many collaborative vehicles on our desk, whether it's email, whether it's WhatsApp, etc. But it's just amazing that most people are just unresponsive. They do not respond to a mail, they do not respond to a WhatsApp, and hence then you need to call them. So whatever you do, please try and be responsive. Time management has three elements to it. A lot of people think my boss controls all my time. That's not true. Second, the system controls all my time. That's also not true. And finally, I control some time. Okay, so what you have to do over a period of time is to say the time that you think you control, you have to keep expanding that. So this is what time management is about. Next, let me talk about managing your ambition. I think first I would like to mention that ambition is good. Ambition is good because it propels a new level of achievement. As one person moves up, others follow, and overall the team as well as the company moves up significantly. And that can only be good for anybody or an organization. The trick with ambition is not to have it nakedly on your sleeve. When you are nakedly ambitious, people will pull you down. Your peer group will pull you down, and your subordinates will pull you down dramatically. The skill is to have ambition for the team. And if the ambition for the team is there and you're contributing to it, then it works. Let me give you two examples. If you take the game of cricket, one bowler on a given day or one batsman on a given day can pull off a huge victory. That's a given. For example, Johnny Bairstow, in about 100 balls, he scored 130 runs and he gave victory to England versus New Zealand. Okay, so on a given day, cricket can be an individual game. A Bairstow or a Tendulkar or a Virat Kohli or a Sangakkara or whoever it is. On the other hand, you take football. Football, you need collective ambition. Just a Messi, just a Ronaldo cannot win the match. So all the 11 players need to work together. So your ambition has to be for the team. And if you get the ball to score, fantastic. If you get the ball to hit, fantastic. If you get the ball to take a wicket, fantastic. As long as your ambition is in the direction of the team and it is propelling team success, people will accept you. When they see that you're wearing your ambition nakedly on your sleeve and it's about you, and typical words are, I did this, I started this, I ended this, I decided this. These are classic words which people use when you clearly know that it's all about self and nothing else. So please watch out for that ambition which you wear on your sleeve. The third is learning. A lot of people say they're too busy to learn. The shelf life of a concept today is between 12 and 14 months. So if you've done a degree 10 years ago, it's quite likely that most of what you learn is irrelevant today. And that's why we see this whole focus on skills right now in a future world. So how did we learn in the past? In the past, we used to have, every company would advocate the 70-20-10 rule, where 70% of the learning was on the job. You learn from your seniors, you learn from your boss, you learn from the system. That's not true anymore. People don't have the time or the energy to train and coach people, which basically means if your boss is not doing it for you, the company is not doing it for you, there's no learning and development department which can do it for you, then the whole responsibility of learning rests on your shoulders. If you are willing to shoulder that responsibility, you will always be many steps ahead of people. So how does one learn? One learns by watching people. There are a number of people you can watch, both successful and unsuccessful people, and learn from them. One learns by reading. One learns by doing project work. That's the other way to learn. And I find the easiest way to learn actually is to talk to people outside your industry. Talk to at least 2-3 people outside your industry every month. And ask them, how's your industry going? What's the business model? What's working? What's not working, etc. If there is something working out there, you can be absolutely sure it will come to your doorstep. The worst thing about learning is to say, my industry, nothing will change. And this happens in many industries, especially legacy industries. In legacy industries, people will say, this is how we've done it for 10 years. And that's why in legacy industries, it's the outsider who always comes in and sets a new benchmark. The incumbents in the legacy industry rarely innovate and set a new benchmark. So that's how you think about learning. Learning is squarely your responsibility. You cannot outsource this to anybody else. Next is, how do you manage your energy? You cannot manage your energy if you're not physically fit. You cannot be physically fit if you don't exercise well. You cannot be physically fit if your diet is not in good shape. A number of young managers tend to binge, tend to have late nights, etc. And as a result of which, they wake up groggy every morning. And by the time they get awake at work, after 3-4 rounds of black coffee, it's already 12 o'clock. Don't let that happen to you. Whatever you do, please ensure that you have a cutoff time by which you get at least 6 to 7 hours sleep, and then you're absolutely fresh in the morning to come to work and beat the living daylights out of the job. So energy is that. Energy happens when you have discipline in everything you do. If you have discipline, then you can be almost certain that energy will follow it. And finally, managing your relationship with the organization. The management of a relationship with an organization has to be one of pride. If you are not proud of the organization you're working for, then you should leave. The worst thing to do is to stay in the organization and be cynical and say, hey, you know what? This is what's happening here. People will listen to you when you're cynical because it's good fun. But over a period of time, people will say, this guy or this girl can't get another job. He or she is being cynical, and there is no point in listening to this person. Whatever you do, do not become cynical about your organization. The day you feel that your energy is flagging or your commitment is flagging to the organization, you should find a way out and leave. Now, how does one judge the relationship with an organization? You have to give the organization time. I believe in today's world, you need to give it at least 3 to 4 years. And in this time frame, you should be able to judge if the organization is investing in you, if the organization values you, if the organization is giving you the right signals in terms of what they want to do with you. So these are the important elements in terms of managing your time, managing your ambition, managing your learning, managing your energy, and managing your relationship with the organization. Well, I've said all this. A lot of people have very simple doubts, which is, should I look for instant gratification? Do I want a promotion next month? Do I want a car next month? Do I want a fancy motorcycle next month? Do I want a fancy holiday next month? Or can it wait? I would always say play for the long term. If you are chasing instant gratification or hurried aspiration by taking on loans and things like that, that's the no-no for me. Because there is no free lunch. There is no free holiday. There's no free car. So you have to be very, very clear how you will fund each of your ambitions. So instant gratification is good. And I know that a lot of young people seek it, but I would actually say you should absolutely deserve before you desire. A lot of people desire before they deserve. The second one is peer group. Are peers friends? Can I be friends with my peer group? Or they are competition? Peer group is what I call frenemies. They are friends sometimes, you need them, and they will be enemies sometimes. They will compete with you. But the trick is for you not to see them as an enemy. As long as you see them as a friend, you'll be fine. The moment you start seeing them as an enemy, you will have your guard up, you will not share, you will not give anything to them. I have found through my career that people who give completely get a lot more in return. What do I mean by giving? Giving your time. If you give your time to people, you'll get a lot more back. If you give information freely to people, you'll get a lot more information back. I've found that every leader who hoards information, who does not give time either to people or to industry or to sector or society, in the long run loses. So what's important for you is please be a giver. If you are a solid giver, you'll get much more. And finally, a question which I get asked about managing yourself is, how does one think of loyalty? If you think of your career as 30 to 40 years, the average life of a company today is less than 20 years. Your career is 30 to 40 years. I would say in your career, you'll possibly work for 10 to 15 companies. As long as you work for a company till the very last day, till the very last minute, you must be loyal. But just being loyal without not being capable is no use. Both are very important. Loyalty on its own without capability is appreciated in very few companies. Most people will want loyalty coupled with capability. So whatever you do, do not mistake that because you've been in a company for 10 years, they should take care of you. They will not. They can only take care of you if you have capability and if you're producing results with that capability. Tenure alone in a company does not guarantee anything, because time itself does not guarantee a company anything. All market leaders flounder. All market leaders cede market share because of disruption. So loyalty is an old concept, not a concept which in today's world can exist without capability. So in summary, I would say it's been an absolute delight talking to all of you. I have tried my very best to distill for you in about 15-20 minutes this whole book which I've written about the art of management. This has a foreword by Sachin Tendulkar, and it has a total of 21 outstanding leaders who talk about managing yourself, managing your team, and managing your business. The foundation is about managing yourself. And if you do not manage yourself well, then you will actually be seriously challenged to get either a role about managing your team or get a role in managing your business. That's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you, NASSCOM, for this wonderful opportunity. I wish all of you the very best and happy hunting. Wherever you are, do well and keep winning. And more important, manage yourself for the future. Thank you.
It was a delight having you here with us. Thank you, Shiv, for that interesting and insightful last session for the day. That was the last session of our day one of the conference. With this, we bring to close day one of NASSCOM GCC Summit 2022. We hope that you enjoyed today and are taking back loads of learning from all the interesting and insightful discussions. We are very excited to welcome you back to our physical day of the conference, starting with our networking dinner tomorrow. That is the 29th of June at HICC in Hyderabad, followed by a busy day on the 30th with workshops, masterclasses, and roundtables. Please note that the seating capacity of each of our masterclasses and workshops are limited and will be on a first-come, first-served basis. We will see you all in Hyderabad. For those who will be joining the day two virtually, we are excited for all the interesting things we have in store for you too on the 30th of June. Please log into the platform for our session beginning at 11 a.m. We would like to once again thank our sponsors who have supported this initiative: the Government of Telangana, our state partner; Government of Karnataka, our sponsor; Everest Group, strategic partner; IBM, our knowledge partner; Kyndryl, our innovation partner; Deloitte, our platinum sponsor; Fiserv Global Services, our platinum sponsor; Grant Thornton Bharat, our platinum sponsor; HSBC Global Services Center, our platinum sponsor; Legato Health Technologies, our platinum sponsor; MetLife, our platinum sponsor; Sabre, our platinum sponsor; Target in India, platinum sponsor; Celonis, our process mining partner; OutSystems, our low-code partner; AB InBev, our gold sponsor; KPMG, our gold sponsor; Novartis, our gold sponsor; Pure Storage, our gold sponsor; Sony India Software Center, our gold sponsor; Thomson Reuters, our gold sponsor; Swiss Re GBS India, badges and lanyard sponsor; and Amadeus, our silver sponsor. We'd also like to thank Zuddle, our platform partner, and ACT FiberNet, our internet partner. We'd like to thank all our speakers as well, and all of you for being an amazing audience. My name is Justin Jacob. I'll be seeing you soon. Have yourselves a wonderful evening.